Hello everyone, what's up? It's me again, Junkmaster3, and yeah, believe it or not, this is gonna be the last top five of the month for December, and which means the last top five of the month for the entire year of 2021. So yeah, I just want to say a happy new year and hope everyone is doing well out there in the whole stupid pandemic. But yeah, well, I'm just gonna say that damn, it's going to be a really hard challenge for me to make my top 10 best and top 10 worst films that I watched during 2021, because that's the next project after project. That sounds stupid, but that's the next step in my videos or whatever. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna start with the top 5 of the month for the month of December, and then we'll eventually get to the other two videos that I just mentioned to you. So yeah, let's begin right away. And by the way, I have fixed the camera. The picture quality is much better now. For some reason, there was some dirt on the camera lens or something that I just didn't notice. So that's really sounds really stupid now when I come to think of it. But yeah, let's continue with the video. Top five of the month of December. At number five, we have La Bamba, which is probably the next to Young Guns films. I think this is the most known film with Lou Diamond Phillips, and like his most like really his breakthrough role. And I must say, this is such. I mean, even though I'm not the biggest fan of this type of music in general, damn, this film has some catchy ass music in it. I can't say that I'm that big fan of La Bamba, the song, which have been played to death basically everywhere. But I mean, the other songs were really, really great in my opinion, and this whole true story is so believable and really well written, and it's well acted and everything. A really great film. I mean, really sad as well in some parts because, of course, when you're struggling and you don't have too much other options. I mean, it's basically about these two brothers, and of course, one of the brothers, he really succeeds in the music industry, and he kind of feel rejected the other brother. So yeah, there's some tensions between the brothers and tensions in the family, and I mean, this is a really great film. If you haven't seen this one yet, go check it out. La Bamba at number five. And number four, we have a coming home Vietnam film. That sounds really weird, but you know, the films that are taking place right after the Vietnam War, like how the Vietnam War veterans they felt after the war. So I mean, the only one that I can come but think of is the Born on the 4th of July, I believe, which covers that whole subject as well. But this one is another really great one, and the film is ironically called Coming Home, with Jane Fonda, Jon Voight, and Bruce Dern. It's basically about Jane Fonda and because Bruce Dern plays Jane Fonda's husband, and he gets sent to Vietnam, and she volunteers as a nurse at this hospital for Vietnam vets, basically, and there she meets Jon Voight's character, and of course she slowly like starts to build a relationship with him, and of course there's some tensions when Bruce Dern's character returns from the war. So I mean, this is a very well acted film. And I must say, this is kind of a stupid thing. Maybe it's just the B movie enthusiasm in me that just speaks now. But you know, you have all these great actors in the film, and once you there's a really smaller role in this film where I'm like, wait a minute, that's Robert Ginty, and I'm like, whoa, yeah, this is gonna be awesome. And unfortunately, he doesn't have that big of a role, but this has to be like the biggest film he ever starred in, because after this film, he basically appeared in the Exterminator 1 and 2, and I think those two are probably the most known films with him, if you don't count this one. So, was very surprised to see him, but I'm glad to see him in this film. He did a good job for I mean, he doesn't have that big role, but it was nice to see him. But anyway, this is a really great film. Now I keep mumbling on about this film, but yeah, anyway, at number four, Coming Home, from the 78, I believe, yeah. Now the next one is, I mean, this could have been. I'm just gonna put up the IMDb list here. And number three is, I'm actually in the process of going through this box set, which I have numerous of these in this series, but Godzilla at number three. This is the first one, the original one I'm talking about, that's landing on number three on this list. I'm in the process of going through this box set. I've seen okay, I'm just going to mention the films that are included in this box set, but Godzilla, the original one, The Return of Godzilla, Godzilla vs. Biollante, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, Godzilla vs. Mothra, and Godzilla vs. Destroyer. I've seen the original, The Return of Godzilla, Biollante, and King Ghidorah. Those are the ones that I've seen. So I only have Mothra and Destroyer left to watch in this box set. But I mean, this is a really hard thing. I was actually thinking of including Return of Godzilla in this list as well, but I thought, well, 2 Godzilla films in the top 5 list of the month, that just doesn't sound right. So it's sort of like a split thing with this one, because I'm gonna say the Godzilla, the original one, is really at number 3. But I could also say a side note on that the Return of Godzilla could have been on that list as well, because that's a really well made sequel, and I know there's a bunch of other Godzilla films that were released between 1950. When is the original from? 1958, I believe. 1950. I can be so wrong, but anyway, between the original one and the 80s, there's a bunch of Godzilla films, but the one I'm talking about is The Return of Godzilla, which came out in 84, I believe. Yeah, 1984. Yeah, so that's a really well-made film as well. And I would say the only flaw to that film is it's a little bit too long. Other than that, I think it's an amazing Godzilla film. So yeah, both of those two basically on number 3. That's still a little bit confusing for you, but yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. And at number 2, we have a classic which I had not seen until quite recently. I got this recommended to me by one of my friends, and the film is The Great Escape, with Steve McQueen, James Garner, Richard Attenborough. I think the funny part about this is that they basically cast Steve McQueen in it just to lure American audiences to watch this film, because otherwise they probably wouldn't have watched this film. And it's a little bit ironic, because Steve McQueen's character in this isn't really particularly likable. He plays sort of like a douchebag character, but he slowly grows into a much more entertaining and likable character throughout the film. My favorite character is played by James Garner. I think he's the greatest character, the character I like the most. But it's basically about these soldiers that are trying to escape from this prison Nazi camp or whatever, and there's some numerous of failed attempts at that. And yeah, also I must say Donald Pleasence is really great in this one as well. He pretty much teams up with James Garner in this once they try to escape and everything, because they were pretty much paired up in two when they tried to escape. So and also Charles Bronson, really surprised of how well acted. Like his acting in this is really great, because you doesn't really feel like that's the type of role he took, like in general. So but anyway, The Great Escape, really great film, probably one of the best prison escape films of all time, to be honest. So yeah, at number 2. And number 1 is a film that I watched on TV, which I have not seen. I have seen, of course, I've seen it. I don't have it in the collection. That's what I wanted to say. But Good Will Hunting from 1997. Most people have probably already seen it. It's just me that I'm really slow when it comes to some of the more modern classic films. But great acting, great characters, really sad story as well, and great. I mean, the chemistry between all the actors and the dialogue is just amazing. And Robin Williams really proves in that film that he was a really great actor. So yeah, Good Will Hunting at number 1 from 1997, by the way. Now that's enough for the. That's enough. That sounds stupid, but that's it for the top 5 list of to 5 of the month of December of 2021. So yeah, we'll see how it goes in 2022. If it's gonna be more masterpieces or more garbage, you never know. But you'll see my top 10 best films and the top 10 worst films I watched during 2021 in probably the next following 2 videos. So keep your eyes open for that. So yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.